Well, hello, everyone. Welcome into another edition of the Sports Stove Draft Show. Thank you for tuning in. We have had so much draft content out on the Sports Stove YouTube channel right now, and we've had several people, new people coming to the channel. So thank you for that and for your subscriptions to the channel, for tuning in, for commenting, and all of those good things as well. We greatly appreciate it. Today's episode is presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. Use your promo code STOVE15 at checkout. You're going to get 15% off your purchase. There's Christmas deals going on right now at righteousfelon.com. All kinds of great flavors. Let me throw this one. I haven't talked about this one recently. The Maryland Monroe beef jerky. All right. This has got that the Maryland crab combination going on there. That's not the right word for it. I should have been better off with this kind of things. But the Chesapeake crab spice on it is what it is. And I've had this twice. Absolutely love it. Great stuff, as well as all the other flavors. The OG hickory is my dad's favorite. Great flavor. Great. The texture of this jerky is incredible. So you need to try it out. It's great for stocking stuffers. Perfect sized bags for stocking stuffers. The packaging's phenomenal. The price is great. The discount's awesome. Get on there. righteousfelon.com, promo code STOVE15. Okay. Now, last episode, we looked at which teams were going to draft or need a quarterback in the draft. Will they draft? Will they go free agency? Will they go trade? We talked about all that. We talked about Diego Pavia. We're going to come back to quarterbacks several weeks from now after everyone's declared, and we'll go over the whole position again. Today, we're looking at running backs and which teams need a running back. So when I'm preparing for this, there's a number of things I do. First of all, I try to watch as many games as I can. Second of all, go on and find as many clips and things like that as I can. And then a lot of reading, a lot of research, things from the school these guys are playing at, these draft picks that the schools are at, things from them, things from respected national media members, local media members, all these kinds of things to figure out, where these guys should be in different places. What has been crazy is when you talk about running backs in the 2026 NFL draft, you're not seeing a lot of people really thinking teams are going to be going after these running backs early. Now, that being said, we had, I think a record number of running backs last season or close to it last season taken. So a lot of guys got young running backs on their teams this year. And when you look into the 2026 season, a lot of these teams will have running backs in contract years. Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, James Conner, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Spears, also from the Titans, Chuba Hubbard. No, he's a little bit later. Charbonnet out in Seattle, Brown in Cincinnati. So there are going to be a lot of free agent running backs the following season. So the question is, will teams try to restock now and not re-sign these veteran guys, or are they happy with what they have? Kind of want to keep that going, maybe go for a 5th, 6th, 7th round running back later on. That's always a conversation. You can always get running backs later in the draft, and you can, but we have a unique situation in 2026 where Jeremiah Love is far and away the best running back in the draft. Most people think he's going to go in the top 10. Everyone that has any ounce of common sense in them has him as a top 3 player in the draft. And so we see there's just elite running back talent. He can run the ball effectively. He can catch the ball effectively. He can pass block as well. So everything that you need in a running back, Jeremiah Love can give you. He is more of the Reggie Bush type of running back than Saquon Barkley type of running back. But the impact that he can have is great. And there are teams that need impact players. And so that's what I want to look at today is who needs a running back, who is most likely to draft a running back in the first 2-3 rounds. And then from there, we'll figure out there's also some free agents available. There's some trade options out there. I don't think there's any great trade options as far as that we look at right off the bat and say this guy is clearly available. I don't think that's really there right now. Now, the question is can someone surprise us? Sure. Crazy things have happened. So we can't predict that necessarily. But we're looking at Jeremiah Love as a first-round lock. Jonah Coleman out of Washington is a possible first-round pick. more than likely second round pick, but it's going to kind of base itself off of need a little bit and who else has been drafted, as we get to the late 20s, final couple picks of the draft. So those are really, I think, the only two first round options at the moment. Now, the offseason, the combine, all that kind of stuff could obviously spark someone into higher draft spots. I love both Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton out of Penn State. I like Allen more, but they're different styles of play. I think kind of like what we saw in Cleveland last year, going Quinshon Judkins with one pick, and then going Sampson later on in the draft. It's kind of that similar play style. If you look at even what Ohio State did last year with Junkins and Henderson, kind of similar, not the same, similar idea. So I love both of those guys, but I think they're both, day two picks. Singleton might even fall into day 3. His year was not that great. CJ Baxter, I really like out of Texas as well. I think he could be a day 2 pick possibly. And then Jadarian Price, if he comes out from Notre Dame, is a guy that's going to rise up boards pretty fast. If he chooses to come out, I think he should go back to Notre Dame. With Love coming out, Price has had a good year, but he can be the guy next year. I think he should go back. Wake Forest has a running back, Damon Claiborne. Justice Hayes from Michigan, Tyrion Stewart from Virginia Tech, Jamari Taylor from Virginia, and Le'Veon Moss from A&M are all names that you're going to hear called, and there's many more, but I just think they're day 3 guys in that setting. So back to these teams, the NFL, who needs a running back right now? Listen, I was big on the Bears. I was saying that the Bears needed to go out and thought that maybe this year's draft would be the year that made sense for them to go out and get themselves that guy at running back. But then they've gone off and won 9 games already. And so maybe, it's not where they go. They had a great game against Philadelphia. Both running backs went off against Philadelphia. You've got Swift, who, he has a history with Ben Johnson. He's younger than you think he is. Or at least he's younger than I thought he was as well. He's still got time in his career. Kyle Monangai, who's a 7th round draft pick this season, has against Philadelphia came on massively, right? He's been averaging in the 50 to 60 yards per game, which is fine. I always kind of viewed him as that second guy, and they need a first guy in place. The way they're closing out the season right now, I don't know that Chicago would be as apt to go out and get a guy. Like I said, Johnson likes DeAndre Swift, coached him before. Monangai seems to be doing just fine. So that they kind of might move off my list. Now, Swift is a free agent in 2027. So he's only got 1 year left on his contract. So are they going to extend him? Or is he a trade candidate? Is he a guy that maybe they can get some value for and then draft a guy here in the draft? They're not going to be high enough to get Jeremiah Love. So do they love Jonah Coleman? Do they love one of these Penn State guys? Is there another guy that's really on their radar? We'll have to wait and see. The Bears were kind of top of my list because just of what an elite running back could do for that team. But now they're kind of falling down my list a little bit. Let's talk about the Titans. Titans have 2 running backs in Pollard and Spears, and both of these guys are going to be in the final year of their contract this coming season, the 2026 season. So again, does Tajay Spears get extended? I couldn't see both of them getting extended. So, maybe Pollard does, maybe Spears does, maybe neither of them do. I don't know. But the Titans, when you look at their team, all right, so they've got Cam Ward at quarterback. That's set. Not a big deal. Tight end, they're fine in. I like Gunnar Helm a lot. 4th round pick this past season out of Texas. Okonkwo is still there too. I think they're okay there. They need improvement on the offensive line. We'll talk about that in future episodes. They need help at wide receiver. They need a lot of help at wide receiver. So where they're drafting, they're more likely to draft a wide receiver in round 1 than they are a running back in round 1. Although the Titans are going to be up there picking number 1. They're definitely going to be in the top 3. And, what can Jeremiah Love do for that offense? What can they do? Now, who do they hire as a coach is going to play into that. That's going to play a big role into that, right? Then you look at the free agent market. Like, is it worth passing on Jeremiah Love? And maybe you can sign a Rico Dowdle, who's a free agent this year, unless Carolina resigns him, which you would think they would. But you never know. Maybe they can make a run at him. Ty Chandler, who played college ball in Tennessee. He's a free agent this year, hasn't had a great opportunity yet. Is he going to be a number one guy somewhere? Probably not. You got Travis Etienne. That's most likely going to be a free agent this year. Javonte Williams, you would think Dallas would re-sign him, but at the moment, he'd be a free agent. Breece Hall is going to be a popular name in the free agent market this year. So Kenneth Walker from Seattle, J.K. Dobbins, who's had a great year this year in Denver, you would think they would re-sign him, but you never know. There are some guys out there in the free agent market that can make an impact. So maybe they choose to go offensive line. Maybe they choose to go defense here in the early part of round one. And maybe in the early part of round two is where they go and make their move. They go and grab a Jonah Coleman or one of these Penn State guys or someone they love. I don't know. But I will tell you this, depending on who the coach is, if I'm the Titans, I kind of play off of what it was done in Cincinnati a few years back, several years back now. Let's get stud offensive pieces, guys that can make plays that's going to help our quarterback. And then we can plug and play everything else with free agency in the latter part of the draft. I think the Titans should be in the market for Jeremiah Love. I just don't think they will be, depending on who they get as their coach. So that's something we'll have to revisit. Let's go Cincinnati next. Listen, Cincinnati's got Chase Brown, and he's not the answer in Cincinnati. And the Bengals have put all this money into their wide receivers. They brought in Mike Gesicki at tight end. They brought in Noah Fant at tight end. They've done different things on the offensive line. 2 draft picks are currently starting there at guard, both guard spots for Cincinnati. Do they continue to pour into playmakers? Because they're going to be at a spot in the draft this year where they could probably take Jeremiah Love. So are they going to pour into playmakers, or are they finally going to fix their defense? Can they fix their defense in the draft? Or is it something that we need them to do in free agency? Obviously, both of those things need to happen. So the Bengals need a running back. I see them more second round, third round, getting one of these, CJ Baxter or Nick Singleton, something like that. I see more likely because they have so many needs there. But Chase Brown, he's a free agent in 2027. They got Samaje Perine, who's always been decent, but never great. So, yeah, I think the Bengals are prime team for a running back. I want them to take Jeremiah Love. I just see them wait until second round probably, or even later for a running back there. Let's see your Seahawks. Man, the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, free agent. Charbonnet will be a free agent the next year. Neither one have really shown up this year and done what you needed them to do if you're Seattle, even though Seattle's winning games. Man, if they had the running game working, how much better would that team be right now? I think Seattle's another prime target to go running back in the draft. But again, where they're going to be picking, it just doesn't make sense for them to be drafting a running back in the first round. So they're going to be later on in there. The Jets are an intriguing one. Breece Hall, a free agent. You've got Allen, who's a free agent in 28. They got Davis, who's the backup right now. Allen got hurt earlier in the season. They just haven't seemed to have been sold on Breece Hall for whatever reason all season long. So you look at that staff, you look at what they like to do offensively, they are going to go get themselves a running back, but they got to get a quarterback first. So I see them being the kind of team that goes out and gets a Travis Etienne or maybe even a Najee Harris. It's not the ideal thing, right? But those kinds of picks, maybe a Jerome Ford fits well in the Jets, but he's not going to be the answer. But they're going to be picking so high, they're going to have to get a quarterback. So unless they go free agent quarterback, then maybe they could go Jeremiah Love at running back. Man, they've got a lot of needs, though, right? So it's an intriguing team to watch. Carolina, probably not. They're probably going to re-sign Dowdle. If they don't, they could use a running back. Hubbard's there through 2029. But I don't think they're a legit team up at the top. The Commanders are an interesting team, I think, when you're looking at possibilities at running back, because when you look at what the Commanders have, right? Terry McLaurin set up. Debo, he can be a free agent. I think they can get out of his contract if they want to this year. They drafted Jalen Lane in the 4th round. Traylon Burks had a great catch this week, right? The offensive line's okay, could get better, of course. Tight end, they're aging, and Zach Ertz. Quarterback, they're in a good spot. I would assume Mariota would re-sign as the backup there. Chris Rodriguez, Ja'Cory Merritt, Krosky Merritt, they're fine, but you can do better. And so Washington, with the season they've had, has put themselves in the Jeremiah Love conversation. Like if you add Jeremiah Love to that offense, it definitely helps Jaden Daniels. It helps your team be better overall. I like the idea of Washington and Jeremiah Love. So will it happen? I have no idea. I think it'd be great. They've got needs as well defensively. They've got needs on the offensive line that they could address at that spot. And they could get another playmaker if they choose to move on from Debo and not like prolong that situation. The end of the day is a playmaker would be great for Washington. I love the idea of Jeremiah Love in Washington. Let's see here. The Cardinals, they got James Conner, who will be a free agent in 2027. They've got some young guys right now, Bam Knight, that looking decent. So I think I've pushed them a little further down my list as well. Kansas City is the big team, right? They're going to be right now in the 20s in that range. It's probably too high for Jonah Coleman. So they're probably a second round team, but if they could snag one of the Penn State guys in the second round, or if they really love Coleman or one of these Penn State guys or somebody else, to get them in the first round, maybe. I see Kansas City, though, second or third round going running back. I just think that where they're going to fall in the first round, it's not going to make sense for them to take a pick, but they're going to need a running back. Isaiah Pacheco, free agent. Kareem Hunt, free agent. Neither one of those guys are clearly the answer either. So give me that situation there as well. Last one I want to talk about is the Vikings. The Vikings have Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. Ty Chandler, like I said, will be a free agent. Jones and Mason will be free agents in 2027. So their contracts will be up. They've got one season left. I like Mason a lot. I like him, especially as a number 2 running back, a lot for Minnesota. I'm out on Aaron Jones. I used to love Aaron Jones when he played for Green Bay. I thought he still had a year or two left in him when he went to Minnesota, but it's just the drop off there, I think, is too great. So I like Jordan Mason getting re-signed in Minnesota, and I like them looking for options there. Now, again, this is a team that needs a quarterback, but they're probably going quarterback in free agency versus the draft, bringing in one of these second opportunity guys and having a battle with J.J. McCarthy, which isn't going to be much of a battle, which is if you watch any of our content over the last 2 years about J.J. McCarthy, we've tried to tell you he was not the answer in Minnesota, but everyone said, oh, you're a Packer fan, you're just being a hater. No, he's not the answer in Minnesota. Anyways, they have to address that. But again, one of the best helps you can do for your quarterback is having playmakers around him. And I think that Minnesota is going to be at an interesting spot where they might not be so far down that they couldn't make a move up to go get Jeremiah Love in the draft, or in the second round, make a move up to get the guy they want early in the second round as well. So I think playmaker running back for Minnesota makes a ton of sense. So in my opinion, I think Titans, Commanders, Chiefs, and Vikings are the teams to watch for first round running back. Again, where some of them are going to fall in the order, it's not going to make as much sense, but maybe they move up, maybe they move down in the first round to get a running back as well. Then I think Bengals need someone. I'm not sure that they're going to get someone. They've got so many gaps on the defense, of course, as well. Jets are going to go quarterback. Seahawks are probably going to just live it out with another free agent situation kind of a thing as well. So those are the teams that I'm looking for in the early rounds to go running back in this 2026 draft. Share your thoughts. Do you think, I'm curious, Jeremiah Love, is he the only running back that goes in the first round this year? Because me personally, that's how I would probably grade it. I like Jonah Coleman a lot, and I love Katron Allen, and I really like Nicholas Singleton. But when I'm looking at all the talent in this draft, I think Jeremiah Love is the only legit first-round running back. And he's a top 10, top 5, getting tight right there, right? But top 10 draft pick this year. So what are your thoughts? Let's put the number at 1.5. You going over or under 1.5 running backs in the NFL draft first round in 2026? I'm curious to get your thoughts on that. What team did I leave out? Which team desperately needs a running back that you say, Vince, why didn't you bring up this team? Throw that in the comments as well. You say, well, where should I comment? We'd love for you to comment on this video on YouTube. If you go to the Sports Stove YouTube channel, subscribe so you don't miss any of the content. Leave some comments, throw us a like, share it with someone you think would appreciate the content as well. That'd be a great help to us there. You can also comment on social media at Sports Stove on Twitter and Instagram. Of course, if you are a podcast person, you prefer to listen to audio versus looking at this beautiful face, you can do that at the Sports Stove Football Show podcast. It also has my Thursday episodes with my dad, where we're picking games for the NFL and college football, covering the latest news, all that kind of stuff as well. All right, Righteous Felon Jerky. It's Christmas time. We're in December. Make sure you go get your stocking stuffers from Righteous Felon Jerky at righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code STOVE15 for 15% off your purchase. I love the bootleg and barbecue. It is my favorite flavor out there. It's got just enough kick, great flavor. The texture is amazing. You're going to love it too. We talked about that Marilyn Monroe flavor this at the beginning of the episode. Incredible as well. So many great flavors there. Check it out, righteousfelon.com, promo code STOVE15. That'll let them know that you listened to us and that you found them through our program, and it'll be a great help to us there as well. All right, we're going to continue this series on teams and draft needs as we go throughout. We're going to keep on marching through. We've got wide receivers coming up, tight ends coming up. We'll try to get a couple of these episodes out a week, and then once the everyone has declared for the draft, we'll come back through and rank everyone and go through our big board and all that kind of good stuff as well. So we appreciate you watching today. We hope that you'll come back and watch us again. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. All right. This has been the Sports Stove Draft Show. We'll see you again very soon.